Hello, friends. I'm Brian, and you're probably wondering why I'm all dressed up. Well, that's because I'm here to give away some Golden Gizmos. Alright, so what are the Golden Gizmos? Well, it's kind of my take on an awards show. I'm all by myself here, so I'm not compiling a bunch of feedback from all my other co-creators and whatnot. Instead, this is just how I think, or my thoughts on various games in various categories. In kind of acknowledgement, it's kind of like the Dice Tower does their, seal of approvals and whatnot, seal of excellences. Think of it like that this is my personal, the Gizmo seal of excellence, and I'm only going to award it to 5 games every year in 5 varying categories. So, without further ado, I guess I'll get into what makes a game eligible. There are 4 things I'm kind of looking at here, kind of for fairness and a little bit of variety and whatnot. The first thing, obviously, it's going to be rated highly by me. So it's going to be something that rates 4 or higher out of 5 on my Gizmo scale. So that's going to cut out some of games that are very good, but just in my opinion, not quite great. So these are 4, 4.5, or 5 rated games on the Gizmo scale. Second, it must have been played multiple times a year. I don't want to play a game once, really love it, and then decide it's worthy of a Golden Gizmo. No, I'm going to need to have played it various times, hopefully in various player counts. Which brings me to point 3. For the most part, and there will be an exception, obviously, here coming up as we get into the categories, must be enjoyed by more than just me and my game group. If I introduce it to people and we all enjoy it, it's going to be more eligible than if I introduce it because I like it, but my game group was kind of indifferent to it, or multiple people kind of frowned on it. That's my way of kind of taking opinions of others into account, and what's basically just me giving out fake awards to various games. And the final thing that won't matter much right now, but obviously I'm not going to have repeat winners of a Golden Gizmo. So if you've already won a Golden Gizmo, you won't be eligible in the future. So let's look at the first category, and this is the one where obviously potentially it won't have been played by other people, but this is the category for best cooperative or solo, because co-ops can kind of play solo usually. So I've kind of grouped these categories into one, either the best co-op or best solo, and some of these games that could have been nominated. Horrified, we really enjoy. Subterra, my group really love. We've played that a lot. Final Girl, one of my favorites. But the winner for this category is going to be an old standby, and that's going to be Pandemic. Pandemic deserves a Golden Gizmo. I've reviewed it recently with the whole series. Kind of given the Golden Gizmo to this series as a whole, but Pandemic Legacies, and the various offshoots could win on their own, but I don't see it happening with just 5 a year. But Pandemic definitely is a Golden Gizmo worthy game, and we'll get it for best solo or co-op game for 2022 / for all time. Because these aren't going to be, I didn't mention that, but these aren't necessarily games from each individual year, but just games I played within the past year that are worthy of a Golden Gizmo. And Pandemic, the series, Pandemic, the base game, is the first Golden Gizmo for co-op or solo game. All right, the next game, this is kind of the lighter games. I'm calling the best family or party game, but this is the game where you're gathering around, you're having fun, not too complex. Just you can bring any number of people or not. Some of the runners up for this award would be Flamecraft, which I just didn't play enough. Creature Comforts, family game. We play Bang the Dice game a lot. So my Golden Gizmo for 2022, for the game I played in 2022 multiple times, that is a family or party game. It's going to be The Isle of Cats. This is a game that always brings out enjoyment. It's got the family mode, which is great for the young kids, the young players, or just for an easy light game where you don't want to put a lot of effort into it. You don't have to be a kid to play it, the family mode. Maybe you're just not in the mood for a whole lot of challenging components and stuff. But that said, the base game without the expansions, I've got everything for it, obviously, in the big box. But even without the expansions, just the regular base game with the regular playstyle isn't that complex. It's a great little kind of entry family style game that you can play with any number, well, not any number of players, but any age group of players. Everybody I played with has enjoyed the Isle of Cats, and it's not a complex game. Wins the award for best family or party game. And that's mostly for the family mode of Isle of Cats, although the regular mode is pretty good too for the family. The Golden Gizmo for the best strategy game, and strategy kind of used loosely, but this is the game that's maybe a step up in difficulty from the family style or party games, the one where you got to put a little more effort into your moves. So strategy games, wide range of games, basically pretty much everything I've played this year could be eligible. Too many honorable mentions to name, but the one that's going to win is the one that always it gets enjoyment by everybody I played it with, and it's always being asked for multiple times. It's something I'm not going to grab down because I've got the big box up there, but Wingspan is my winner for the best strategy game, the Golden Gizmo. Worth the Golden Gizmo. Wingspan is a great game. Great way to introduce engine building. The theme is great. Everybody can get onto putting birds out. Everybody loves playing with the dice and the eggs. There's different ways to play depending on how your hand builds. You can go for egg strategy, or you can tuck birds, or however your engine comes out. All kinds of variable strategies to play. For turn points are variable. The end of round goals you get out can dictate kind of what you're aiming for from game to game. So Wingspan, always a hit, definitely worthy of a Golden Gizmo award, and it wins it for the best strategy game. All right, here's the one that does matter for the year, and this is going to be the best new game. Basically, any game that was new within the last year is eligible. These are, the games like Lacrimosa I really enjoy behind me, Come Together, just came out. But Wayfarers of the South Tigris, brand new game I played once, really enjoyable. But I think everybody knows what's going to win it for me for this year. If you've been paying any attention, it's going to be Ark Nova. I really like this game. It's one of my favorites ever. Great game. Gets all the buzz. It's flown up the Board Game Geek rating list, and it's well deserved. And so Ark Nova could have won for the strategy game, but I went with the older, reliable Wingspan for that, and then wanted to award Ark Nova for basically my game of the year for 2022, earning the Golden Gizmo award, Ark Nova. Right, and the last category. This is my way to kind of honor other games in a way, so not really a specific category, more of a catch-all, and this is going to be Brian's choice. This is another category where I do want to hold it to the other criteria of where I had to have played it multiple times with more than just me, although not necessarily. I could have, nominated Final Girl or whatever for this one. It's kind of my choosing. But this is a way for me to honor a game that I really enjoy and couldn't quite see getting one of the other categories, but wanted to still give it the recognition and come out to 5 awards given in the year. And so the Golden Gizmo, Brian's choice, is going to go to one of my favorites of all time. It's Concordia. I've introduced this to 2 or 3 different groups this year, and they've all really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it every time I play it. So this is one that I played, I think 6 or 7 times this year, which says a lot because it's kind of a bigger game, more complex. And, it doesn't look all that appealing from the start. So, but Concordia wins the Brian's Choice Golden Gizmo for 2022. It's a game I just really adore, and I try to get out and play it as much as I can. The only setback for me is just having to reteach it over and over again because it is a bit to take in, especially trying to grasp how the in-game scoring works with the different gods cards. But for me, definitely worthy of a Golden Gizmo, and the final Golden Gizmo of 2022. And I plan to do this again next year, where I award Golden Gizmos to 5 new games. But if you see this on the shelf with the Golden Gizmo award stamped on it somehow, because I don't have quite the prestige of the Seal of Excellence from Dice Tower, but who knows? Maybe Rio Grande Games or whoever's publishing in Concordia right now slap a Golden Gizmo sticker on it too if they want to. But that's 5 games I wanted to recognize as some of my favorites, some of the best games out there that I played this year. And so that's my 5 Golden Gizmo Award winners for the year. Merry Christmas to everybody if you celebrate Christmas, or what other holidays, celebrations you were celebrating, because this should be coming out on Christmas Day. And yeah, that's what I have. If you think I overlooked something that you think is worthy of a Golden Gizmo, leave a comment below. If you liked this awards show for what it is, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I put out new content weekly with other content thrown in around it too. So if you like what I have to offer and want to check out more of me, make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you next time. Bye.